Hey guys, so welcome to the video today. We'll be talking about the Yatora and their downfall to the Zuni Yatora. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. The Yatora are a arrogant, prideful, and technologically more advanced species than anyone else in the entire galaxy of Verona. They were truly evil by most people, doing their accounts, doing horrific actions. Their homeworld was Ordo Suax, then it was later on changed to X298 by the Zuni Yatora during the later on history of the world. The Yatoran kings were in charge of the government and military and taking affairs of military actions against many other city-states at the time. The city-state wars continue on for thousands and thousands of years. Since many people believe that the Yatora were created by the Dark Kings, it's not really hard to say if they were, but if it's true, then the Yatora were truly not very likable people at all in the galaxy. But anyways, their city-state wars did happen a lot. These city-state wars happened for centuries or thousands of years, and the Yatora began building new sites of deadly weapons and technologically advances, more so than any other species in the galaxy. They began to build machines of war, basically robots. It was said that the species was so advanced that they can make cyborgs if they wanted to, which they did. They built machines for war, basically. And they were very obsessed with machines for some odd reasons that many historians like to call them in the galaxy of Verona. At the end of the city-state wars, many people believe that the city-state wars have a very dramatic effect on the species as a whole, and believe that the Yatora began to focus on other colonization for preparations for their empire. They managed to conquer at least, I believe, 60 worlds when they were leaving their homeworld to find new worlds, new resources, and new technological advances that they can find. The Yatora finally began to colonize expansion, conquered 60 worlds, like I mentioned before, and these colonies did last for about 1,000 years until finally the fighting in spirit of the Yatora still continued on, and they began fighting each other again. Colonies broke away and forged their own independence, beginning to fight each other instead of helping each other. But what was even worse, however, is that they began to build more and more machines with artificial intelligence. As the more and more they began building more machines, the higher intelligent these machines became, serving only one robot overlord or supreme commander at a time. What led to the Yatora's downfall was really even worse. As they began to fight amongst each other, they were becoming very unstable people. And they began to build higher towards technology. Their greed over technology won them over, and they began to fight each other even more. But the Zuni Yatora, this also gave the rise to Zuni Yatora, the robotic species that everyone hates to this day. They basically rose up against their masters, killed them in their original homeworld, and this rebellion was basically led by their supreme commander, who would eventually take over their original homeworld and rename it to X298. And they also reconquered all the 60 colonies, purged them of all the Yatora, and began using these colonies for themselves. And so this began the rise of the Zuni Yatora empire, which would last or robotic empire that people like to call it in the galaxy of Verona, building newer and highly technological advances even further, and establishing their own presence as a whole, and their dominance in the west, like the eastern part of the galaxy, while the other powers rule the western part. And of course, they start major wars, and their biggest rivals are the the Triumvirate Empire, and those two factions always fight amongst themselves in the frontiers of their borders of their empires, respectively. As the galaxy, as we all know, is violent, dark, and brutal, and the fall of the Yatora gave rise to the most evil factions in the galaxy. The Zuni Yatora began building deadlier weapons and deadlier technology, like I mentioned before, in many years. These wars would lead to more bloodshed than it was before, and the galaxy, like I mentioned in my first videos, is a dark place and very violent. And if you see this map right here, the green is the Kailunai, the orange is the Jendai, blue the Triumvirate Empire, and the red is the Zuni Yatora. The Zuni Yatora still to this day is the Yatora basically is a representation of the bad aspects of what species can become over their greed. And greed and lust for power controls the minds of the many. They would also send out scouting missions to the Star Wars galaxy, actually preparing for preparations for their invasion of the Star Wars galaxy. But that would be a future video for another day. But it is interesting to see how their invasion of the Star Wars galaxy would turn out to be, even though they couldn't conquer their own. I hope you guys do enjoy the video, like and subscribe, and I hope you guys really do enjoy this history video. I really do. But anyways, take care and have a great day, guys.